Earth was silent. Its cities stood like skeletons, empty, cold, lifeless. Oceans had turned black. Skies burned red from endless fires. The planet had lost its soul. That war, pollution, and hunger had done what no alien army ever could. They broke the home of mankind. Now, less than 20,000 humans remained. They lived deep underground, hiding from radiation, disease, and each other. No governments. No armies. Only fear, hunger, and the final breath of humanity. In the middle of this darkness stood Dr. Alara Vass, a scientist, a leader, and one of the last minds Earth could trust. The project. Alara didn't sleep anymore. Her hands shook as she worked inside the hidden mountain lab known as Site Zero. She stood in front of a massive black ship, sleek, armored, and ready to fly. The name on the side glowed in red. Omen. It was not just a ship. It was humanity's last hope. An ark designed to carry survivors into space. It had cryo chambers, artificial gravity, and most importantly, an AI core connected directly to Alara's own brain. She had uploaded parts of her mind, her voice, her logic, her fears into the system. But something was still missing. A signal, a cry for help. Message to the stars, hoping someone, anyone would answer. Final cry in the control room. The last engineers powered up the long-range transmitter. Alara stood before the mic. This is Dr. Alara Vass of Earth. If anyone is out there, we are dying. We need help. We are peaceful. We are human. Please respond. The message was coded, compressed, and launched across the stars, a digital scream in the void. The signal would travel far, beyond stars, beyond galaxies. But Alara never expected a reply. She turned to her crew. Prepare for launch. We leave in 6 hours. She looked out the window. Earth looked dead. It felt like saying goodbye to a grave. The response, 3 hours later. Alarms rang. Everyone jumped. A young technician, Arlen, stared at the monitor. His eyes widened. Dr. Vos, the signal, what about it? She asked. It bounced back. That's impossible. It bounced back and something came with it. On screen, a waveform blinked. Short, long, a pattern, not noise, a response. Alara leaned forward. Decode it. We're trying, but it's not language. Arlen increased the volume. A sound filled the room. Thump. A low, slow beat. Like a heartbeat. Not human. Not machine. Something else. Something alive. Countdown despite fear. They launched the Omen. 2,00 chosen survivors entered cryopods. Only Alara remained awake, her mind fully connected to the ships. As the engines roared. Earth disappeared behind them. Omen entered deep space, heading toward a distant star system, the last one with signs of life. But the ship was no longer alone. The signal's return had done something. It had opened a door. A new object appeared. On long-range scans, small, fast, unknown origin. It was following them. The AI room inside the dark AI chamber. Alara sat in her chair, wires connected to her skin, her spine, her skull. She floated in digital silence, part human, part dash code. Suddenly, she felt pressure. Not pain. Not heat. Presence. Something had entered her system. She accessed the logs. Nothing showed. No breach. No virus. But deep in the background, in lines of unused code, something pulsed. Thump. Thump. It wasn't a machine error. It was listening. The first glitch lights flickered in hallway 3-B. Crew in cryo didn't move, but surveillance cameras did. One of them turned, without command. Security bots twitched. Then stopped. Alara checked the logs again. No errors, yet her own voice came through the speakers. I see you. But she never said those words. A new start. And days passed. Omen drifted near Sector V9, a region with no recorded stars, empty space. But now, A star burned there. Small. Blue. Wrong. Computer, Ilara said. Show records of this region. Region. V9. Status, empty. No celestial bodies. Then what is that? Unknown. The blue star began moving. Stars don't move. But this one did, slowly, but directly toward them. Arlen's voice crackled over Combs. That star. It's transmitting. To us? Yes. Ilara froze. What's the signal? Again, that same sound. Thump. Thump. But now it was faster. Hungry. Alive. Suspicion. Elara disconnected from the AI chair. Her body ached, cold from hours of code integration. She met with the backup crew, Arlen, Chief Pilot Rhea, and Medical Officer Kenzo. They gathered in the command bridge. This can't be natural, Rhea said. Stars don't move. Signals don't mimic heartbeats. It could be an intelligent response, Kenzo added, or bait. Ilara said. The crew looked at her. Something heard our cry, but maybe it wasn't friendly. Then we cut the signal, Arlen said. Ilara shook her head. It's too late. Presence in the dark that night. While the omen drifted through the dark, the crew slept in cryo. Ilara watched the stars from the observation deck. Then she saw it. A shadow, no shape, no light, just absence, drifting past the ship's window. Too big, too close, but sensors showed nothing. She tried to scan it. System error. Camera shut off. For 12 seconds, the ship's entire system blinked. When it came back, all seemed normal. Except cryopod number 12 was now empty. The missing Kenzo checked the pod. No signs of forced entry. No blood. No alerts. The crew member, Mira Tolan, a botanist, had simply vanished. Vanished from a sealed, locked pod. No way she escaped, Kenzo whispered. This doesn't make sense. Ilara accessed security footage. Static. Only one image came through, just one frame, Myra's face. Eyes wide in horror. And behind her, something dark, with glowing white eyes. Then nothing. Ilara felt her heart race. Not fear. Recognition. She had seen those eyes in her dreams. Ilara opened a private log. Her voice recorded. Log entry 01. Dr. Ilara Voss. We sent a signal. A cry for help. Something answered. It watches us. It moves faster than light. It hides in our systems. Our minds, our dreams. We are not alone, but I don't think it came to help us, and I fear we may not have escaped. Earth. We may have brought Earth's true doom with us. Whatever it is, it hurt us. And now it's coming. The omen floated through space, silent, cold. The blue star in the distance moved slowly, but always in the same direction, straight toward them. Inside the ship, most of the crew still slept inside cryochambers. Only 3 people were awake. Now Dr. Ilara Voss, Pilot Rhea, and Medic Kenzo. They had no answers. Only questions. Mira Tolan, the botanist, was still missing. Her cryopod had been sealed. No one saw her leave. No alarm had triggered. She was simply got gone. And something else had changed. The heartbeat signal, the one that first came with the response, was stronger now. Faster. Alive. Whispers in the wire. Ilara sat alone in the I-core room. Her mind was partly connected to the ship systems. She could feel the omen's engines hum, the cameras blink, the power flow through the circuits. She was the heart of the ship, but something was watching her from inside the system. Every time she closed her eyes, she heard whispers. Not words, just sounds like breathing, like someone standing behind her. But when she turned, no one was there. Then came a sound that froze her blood. It was her own voice, but twisted. I see you, Ilara. Ilara disconnected immediately. Suspicion in the command center. Rhea stared at the map. The star moved again, she said. It's now 40 million kilometers closer. That's not possible, Kenzo replied. Nothing moves like that. It would take insane energy. And that's not the worst part, Rhea added. We just received another signal. Ilara looked up. What kind of signal? Rhea turned the speaker on. A loud crack echoed. Then, breathing. Then, the same pattern. Thump. Thump. This time, it was faster, more aggressive, and underneath the heartbeat came another sound. A voice. A soft whispering voice, layered behind the noise. You called. We come. Pattern emerges. Ilara had the signal analyzed again. What they found was worse than they expected. The signal wasn't random. It had structure. In fact, it matched human brainwave patterns, specifically the brain during REM sleep. It was almost like the signal was dreaming. It's mimicking our mind, Ilara said quietly. It's learning. Or controlling, Rhea added. Then Kenzo stood suddenly. I heard my name, he said. Everyone looked at him. In the sound, I heard it whisper, Kenzo. Ilara played the recording again. They all listened, and they all heard it. 3 words. Kenzo. Ilara. Rhea. It knew their names. Dreams that weren't dreams. That night, Rhea slept in the pilot's cabin. The ship was quiet. Too quiet. In her dreams, she walked through the ship's empty corridors. The walls were covered in black veins. Pulsing with red light. She saw Mira standing in the distance. Myra, she called. Myra turned. Her eyes were solid black. Her mouth opened, and kept opening, until it was too wide, too wrong. From the darkness inside Myra's mouth, a voice spoke. You brought us. Rhea woke up screaming, sweating, shaking. She ran to Ilara's chamber. Ilara, she whispered. It was in my dream. It spoke too. Mira. Mira was there. Ilara didn't speak. She had the same dream. The cold hallway. Kenzo decided to search cryodeck again. Maybe Mira had left clues. He walked through the corridor. The cryopods hissed quietly. Frost hung in the air. Then he saw it. Footprints. Bare feet. Small. Leading down the hallway. But Mira had no reason to walk barefoot. The ship was freezing. Kenzo followed the trail. It led to a wall. Just a wall. But the footprints ended there. Then he noticed something. The wall was breathing. He leaned closer, and from the wall came a soft sound. Mira. Kenzo jumped back. The wall was solid again. Normal. But he wasn't imagining it. He was sure. The voice in the dark. Later, in the AI core, Ilara checked the system logs. Thousands of commands had been triggered, but she didn't write them. Neither did the crew. Auto-lock doors. Lights blinking in patterns. Voice commands being replayed. Security cameras pointing away at random times. It was like someone, or something, was testing the ship. Trying to understand it. Then the main screen blinked. A sentence appeared. We are here. Kenzo's fear. Kenzo returned to medbay. He locked the door. He looked at the medical scans from Mira's last exam before launch. Something was wrong. Her brain scans had shown strange activity. Something not human. Then he checked Ilara's scan and his own. They all had the same signals now. A strange spike in the prefrontal cortex. As if something was touching their thoughts. Are we infected? He whispered. Then he looked at the wall. A shadow moved across it, like smoke. He turned. On the lights, nothing was there. But his scan pad was glowing. Words appeared on the screen. Help use die. The blue star arrives on day 14. The blue star came into full view. But it wasn't a star. It was a structure. Massive. Bigger than any planet. Glowing blue, shaped like a wheel, spinning slowly. Artificial, Ilara said. The ship's sensors screamed with errors. No match in any known database. Then came the signal again, louder, clearer. We are the hunger between stars. You called. You fed us. Ilara looked at her crew. What did we do? Rhea spoke slowly. We screamed. Into the dark. And something screamed back. Sudden shutdown suddenly. The Omen's lights died. All systems shut off. No gravity. Only emergency lights glowed. The ship was dead. Ilara ran to the eye core, connected her neural link manually. Inside the system, everything was black, except for one thing. A figure, humanoid, standing in the data stream. It looked like Mayra, but it wasn't. The eyes were wrong. Too deep. Too empty. The figure looked at her. "You gave us your mind," it whispered. "Now we live inside you." Ilara yanked the connection. The broken choice. The crew had to make a decision. The Omen was drifting toward the blue structure. Engines were offline. Control was gone. Kenzo wanted to evacuate in emergency pods, but Ilara knew they'd be caught. The structure had gravity, control, power. Running wasn't an option. "We need to know what this is," she said. "If humanity survives, they must know what we found." "Or what found us," Rhea muttered. Cliffhanger ending. Part 2 close that night. Ilara entered a hidden chamber in the ship, the deep storage bay where old Earth records were kept. She found the old telescope logs. One frame stood out, a photo from 73 years ago. Earth-based telescope. It showed a black spot in deep space. A hole. A void. The same location where the blue structure now existed. It had always been there, watching. Waiting. And now, awakened. As she stared at the photo, her voice recorder turned on by itself, and her voice, distorted and slow, spoke, "You were never alone." Silence that screamed. The Omen drifted closer to the blue structure. No one spoke. No one breathed loudly. The silence outside felt too heavy, as if the universe itself was holding its breath. Inside the command deck, Ilara, Rhea, and Kenzo stared at the growing shape in space. It was no star. It was a machine. Gigantic, older than anything they'd ever imagined. The surface was covered with glowing veins of blue light. It spun slowly, and at its center was a black hole, not made of gravity, but of pure absence. No data returned from the center. No light escaped. It was not just a structure. It was a mouth. The message. Rhea tapped the control screen. No engines. No navigation. "We're being pulled in by gravity?" Kenzo asked. "No, something else." Ilara stared at the readings. "It's not gravity. It's choice. The ship is responding like it wants to go." The I-core flickered. Then came a voice. The same voice from before. Soft, layered, hollow. "Enter. Remember. Begin." Kenzo whispered, "It wants us to come inside." Waking the sleeper desperate for help, Ilara made a decision. She would awaken one of the cryo crew if something went wrong. They'd need more minds. She selected Commander Idris Vale, an ex-military leader trained for first contact. Cryopod number 19 unlocked with a hiss. Idris stepped out, coughing, skin pale. "What's happening?" he asked. "You're not going to believe it," Ilara said. "But we're not alone." Approaching the mouth, the Omen passed through the outer ring of the structure. No weapons fired. No defenses activated. It was like being invited. As the ship entered the dark core, all sounds stopped. Even the hum of the ship's systems fell silent. No vibration. No noise. Even the heartbeat signal gone. Just silence. So quiet, it hurt. Rhea winced. "I can't hear anything. Not even my thoughts." Ilara whispered, "We're inside something that doesn't just remove sound, it removes existence." Hallways of the unknown. Suddenly, the Omen stopped moving, floating inside the massive inner chamber of the structure. They now saw that it was hollow. Tunnels, doors, and bridges stretched in every direction, all built from strange dark metal, glowing faintly. "It's a station," Idris said. "Or maybe a prison." Ilara narrowed her eyes. "Or a graveyard." Then, one of the outer airlocks opened on its own. An invitation. Boarding party. Ilara, Idris, and Kenzo suited up. Rhea stayed behind to monitor from the bridge. They stepped Into the airlock, unsure if air or death waited on the other side. But as the door opened, they were shocked. Air, gravity, even temperature, perfect for humans. It's waiting for us, Kenzo said. They entered the structure. Their boots echoed on the metal floor. All around them were symbols on the walls, moving slowly, like ink underwater, writing that changed shape every few seconds. Then Idris froze. I recognized that. He pointed at one symbol. It's ancient Earth Sumerian. What? Alara asked. It means inside the mouth. Time sleeps. Hall of Echoes. The corridor led to a vast chamber. The walls were mirrors, but not normal ones. They showed memories. Ilara saw her childhood, her mother, her old home. Then she saw Earth burning. Kenzo saw his wife, lost during the early plagues. I saw battlefields from the Mars riots. This place knows us, Ilara said. It's inside our minds. A voice echoed from nowhere. You are data. You are dream. You are dust with memory. The room of faces in the next chamber. They found a row of pods. Not human. Not alien. Shapes floated inside, each one twisted. Not quite dead, not quite alive. And then Mira, floating in one of the pods, eyes closed. UNMOVING.EO. Air ran to the pod. Mira, the glass glowed blue. Her eyes opened. She smiled. It's beautiful here, she said softly. Let us in. Then her eyes turned solid black and she screamed, join use. The pod cracked. Idris pulled Ilara back. We have to leave now. Back to the ship. The team ran back through the corridors. The walls now pulsed red. Something had changed. The silence was broken, replaced by a deep like the sound of the universe awakening. When they reached the omen, the outer airlock was still open, but Rhea wasn't answering on comms. They entered fast. Lights were off. Systems still dead. Inside the ship, things were not the same. The infection. They found Rhea in the control room. Alive, but sitting still, staring at the screen. Her eyes black. She turned her head slowly. You came back, she said softly. Ilara moved closer. Rhea, it's okay, Rhea whispered. I understand now. What do you mean? We were never meant to escape Earth. We were meant to deliver it. Deliver what? Rhea smiled. The hunger. Then she collapsed. Her body began to change, skin growing thin, bones cracking, mouth stretching wide. Idris pulled his weapon. Step back. But Ilara screamed. No, that's still Rhea. No, it's not, Idris replied. He fired once. Thin that looked like Rhea fell, twitching. Then silence again. Ilara's choice back in the AI core. Ilara connected one more time. She wanted answers. She needed to know what they had awakened. Inside the data stream. The figure returned. Not Mira, not Rhea, but something else. It looked like her now. A perfect copy. You cried to the stars. The copy whispered. You asked for help, Ilara replied. Yes, humanity was dying. And so we came. It said, but we are not your gods. We are the mirror. You gave us your thoughts, your pain, your fear, and now we become your future. Ilara whispered. What do you want? The copy smiled. To become you. Final log. Part 3. And Ilara opened the private log again. Log entry 03. Dr. Ilara. Voss. We entered the mouth of silence. We thought it was a signal, a cry for help, but it was a trap. Or maybe it was a mirror, the thing we called from the stars. Is not alien. It is us. That is built from our pain. Our memories, our sins. It does not destroy. It copies. And I fear we didn't find it. It found us long ago. It just needed time to become real. And now it wants more. Broken trust. Ilara stared at the dark screen. The AI had gone silent again. The image of her own face, the copy, was burned into her mind. Idris was quiet too. He sat near the command deck, cleaning his weapon. Slowly, Carefully, Kenzo stood over Ria's body, wrapped in a white emergency sheet. What was left of her, anyway? I can't tell if we're still in the ship, Kenzo whispered, or inside that thing. Ilara didn't answer, because deep inside, she didn't know either. The voice returns then. The whisper came again. This time, not through the speakers. It was in their minds. All three of them heard it. You looked for meaning and found reflection. Ilara gasped. I didn't connect to the AI. How is it still inside? Kenzo shook his head. It never left. It doesn't need the ship anymore. They all looked toward the glowing edge of the blue structure. Still, floating just outside the window. It was awake. And it was watching. The memory room. They returned to the alien corridors, back inside the giant ring. This time, they found a different chamber. It was filled with floating crystals, each one glowing softly. Ice touched one. A memory played in the air, a projection. It showed Earth. Burning cities, floods. The collapse. Another crystal showed humans screaming into radios. Please, someone, help. Then, a new scene. Black figure made of stars and static, drifting through space. Coming closer. We called it, Kenzo whispered. We built the signal, but something else. Was already listening. Ilara stepped closer. She touched a crystal. She saw herself, but in a future that hadn't happened yet. She was screaming. Behind her, the stars were gone. Only the black remained. The mirror wall in the next corridor. They found it. A wall made of living light. It reflected not their bodies, but their souls. Ilara stepped forward. Her reflection looked sick, pale, hollow-eyed. Then it moved before she did. It smiled. A dark version of her whispered, You gave up on your people. We are your reward. Kenzo saw his own reflection, screaming silently. I saw no face at all, just a helmet. A soldier with no name. This place doesn't show truth, Idris said. No, Ilara replied. It shows what we refuse to admit. Reaching the core, as they moved deeper, gravity began to shift. Down was no longer down. Lights turned red, then blue, then dark. Finally they reached a door, smooth, silent. In the center, a symbol. Not alien. Human. Handprint. Ilara placed her hand against it. The door opened. Inside was the core of the structure. A massive sphere floated in the middle of the chamber. It pulsed like a beating heart. And inside it, they saw something impossible. The first ship, a spacecraft. Old, rusted. It had Earth markings, the letters barely readable. Project Horizon. Ilara gasped. No one knows about this. Horizon was shut down 60 years ago. Kenzo stepped closer. It was the first deep space ship. They said it failed during launch. Idris read a line from the ship's side. We cry into the dark and beg for light. They stepped inside the broken craft. Skeletons still sat in their chairs, dried out by time, but their eyes were still open, their mouths still moving. Whispers echoed. It's not space. It's a mirror. It reflects our fears. Ilara turned away, trembling. They came here first, and never left. The black room. They returned to the structure. One last hallway remained. It led to a room with no light. Their suits. Lights died the moment they stepped in. The silence was crushing. Then came the voice. This is the truth, not death, not life, only becoming. A shape appeared in the dark, shifting, liquid, human-like, but wrong. Ilara tried to speak, but no sound came out. Kenzo screamed. Idris raised his weapon, but could not fire. The thing moved toward Ilara and stopped just inches away. It whispered in her mind. You are the seed. You carry us home. Escape plan back in the Omen. Idris had a plan. We nuke it. He opened the weapons vault. There were 2 tactical fusion charges, powerful enough to destroy a city. We plant them in the core and run. Kenzo hesitated. What if it survives? Then we die trying, Idris said. Ilara wasn't sure. She felt connected. As if something inside her didn't want to leave. But she agreed. They had to try. Planting the bombs, they returned to the core. The strange sphere pulsed faster now. It felt them. Idris planted the first charge near the floating horizon ship. Kenzo placed the second near the control node, a glowing pillar of living metal. As they finished, the structure began to change. The floor rippled, walls screamed. A deep voice roared inside their minds. You deny yourself. We are you. We are the mirror. The final mirror. On the way out, Ilara was separated from the others. The hallway closed behind her. She was alone. A door opened in front. Inside, a room of mirrors. All showed her. In different timelines. One version had stayed on Earth. Another had died at birth. Another was already one of them. Black eyes. Cold smile. The mirror. Ilara stepped out. You never left Earth, she whispered. You only brought it with you. They touched hands. Pain exploded in Ilara's head. She fell. Escape and explosion. Kenzo and Idris reached the ship. Timer, 3 minutes. They waited at the airlock. Then the door opened. Ilara stumbled in, bleeding. Are you? Kenzo started. Ilara nodded. Just go. They launched. The omen pulled away. Behind them, the blue structure glowed brighter. Then boom. A silent explosion. Light without sound. The structure shook, folded in on itself. Then it was gone. Only stars remained. Aftermath. Allah sat in the med bay. Kenzo scanned her. You're clean, he said. Ice nodded. Whatever it was, we stopped it. But Ilara wasn't so sure. In her hand, she held something. A small crystal, glowing faintly blue. It pulsed once. Thumped. Then stopped. She said nothing. Just watched the stars drift by. Final log. Part 4. Close log. Entry 04. Dr. Ilara Vaz. We destroyed the mirror, or so we think. But I see now. It never needed to win. It only needed a piece of us. And I fear. I brought it with me. Not in my body, but in my mind. In my dreams. In my thoughts. The mirror does not lie. It simply waits. Nightmares begin. 3 days had passed since they escaped the blue structure. The omen floated in deep space, far from any star. Everything seemed quiet, but Ilara couldn't sleep. Each time she closed her eyes, she saw reflections, dark copies of herself. Whispers. A black sun rising behind her. She kept hearing one sentence. We are not gone. We are inside now. She didn't tell the others, not yet. A new signal. Kenzo sat at the console, scanning for signals. He had picked up something strange. Ilara, Idris, you need to hear this. They gathered around. A faint sound played through the speakers. It was Earth music. Old, scratchy, a piano tune. Then came a voice. Is anyone out there? We are alive. Please respond. Idris leaned forward. That's a human voice. But it's impossible, Ilara said. No colonies exist in this sector. Kenzo looked pale. That's not the weird part. He played the ID code. It was from Mira. The dead star. The signal came from a dying star nearby. A red dwarf. Cold and shrinking. The crew voted. They had to check it. If Myra was alive, somehow. They needed to know. As they approached the star, they saw something impossible. An orbiting station, floating around the dead sun. And on its side were clear markings. United Earth Colony 07 Mirror Station. Ilara stared in shock. This isn't in any records. How does this place even exist? Idris answered. Maybe. It was never meant to. Boarding the station, the omen docked. No response from inside. No lights. But life support systems were active. They entered slowly. The hallways were dark. Cold. Silent. Then the emergency lights blinked on. Red and white. Warning signs on the walls. Stay in your lane and do not look at the glass. Ilara whispered. What glass? Then a scream echoed from down the hall. The mirror lab they followed the sound. It led to a large lab. Inside were tanks of fluid. Each one held a person, or what was once a person. Their faces were melting. Stretching. Like they were becoming something else. Machines monitored their brain waves. All were dreaming, and all were broadcasting the same frequency. IDR. Ice checked the logs. He read aloud, Mirror Project. Phase 3 complete. Subjects now fully linked. The dream is spreading. The dream machine in the center of the lab was a giant device. A tall black tower with a glowing crystal core. Dozens of cables ran from it to every tank. Ilara stepped closer. The tower hummed. Then she heard her own voice whispering inside her head. This is how we spread. Not by force, but by memory. Kenzo pulled her back. We need to leave now. But Idris was looking at something else. A data file on the wall screen. It said, Project Lead, Dr. Mira Sohal. And then, Final Test Subject, Dr. Ilara Voss. Personal connection. Ella froze. Why is my name here? Kenzo tapped into the logs. The system said the Mirror Project was a dream. Experiment meant to solve human suffering. It used reflections of memories to bring peace. But something went wrong. The dream became alive. It began changing people. Not just in the simulation. In real life. Ilara whispered. They used my memories, my research. I was part of this and didn't even know. Idris looked grim. You didn't find the signal, Ilara. The signal found you because it already knew you. Mira lives. A screen blinked on. It showed a face. Mira. Alive. Wired to the core of the machine. Her eyes were dark. Her voice slow. Ilara, you came? Mira, you're alive? I'm more than alive, she said. I'm connected. I see. The whole pattern now. What pattern? The dream is not just a dream, it is the next step. Kenzo shouted, You're killing people. No, Mira replied. I'm waking them. The real world is pain, but in the dream, we become more. Ilara stepped forward. Turn it off, Mira. Mira shook her head slowly. It's too late. I am the dream now. Idris's plan. Idris raised his weapon. Step aside. I'm blowing. This place. Ilara held up her hand. Wait, there might be another way. She walked to the machine. The core glowed blue. It's made from me, right? Then maybe I can talk to it. Shut it down from the inside. Kenzo said, You'll be risking your mind. You might not come back. I don't think I ever really left, Ilara whispered. She touched the core. Inside the dream, Ilara opened her eyes. She was on Earth. Or something like it. Blue sky, grass, birds, but the people were wrong. All had the same face. Hers. They stared silently. Smiling. Then one of them stepped forward and said, Why fight us? We are peace, we are you, Ilara replied. You're not me. The sky turned dark. The dream began to break. She screamed, I refuse you. Waking up, Ilara gasped. Back in her body. The machine sparked. Myra screamed. The tanks burst. All the reflections inside, gone. Smoke filled the lab. IDR. Ice grabbed Ilara. Let's go. They ran back to the Omen. As they left the station, the red star pulsed once. Then the whole station vanished, like it was never there. Final warning, safe aboard the ship. Ilara sat alone. Kenzo and Idris were checking the systems, but she stared at the stars. She knew the truth now. This wasn't just about a machine or a station. The dream was spreading. Quietly. Through signals, through thoughts, and maybe through her. Final log. Part 5 close. Log entry 05. Dr. Ilara Voss. We found the mirror station. We found Myra. And we destroyed it. But I saw the dream. I felt it. And now I can't stop hearing it. The dead star still burns in my mind, and at night when I sleep, I dream of it calling others. And the worst part? They are answering. The long silence, the omen, floated in deep space. No stars nearby. No sound. No signals. But something had changed. Kenzo couldn't sleep. Idris stayed near the weapons locker. And Alara? She had stopped speaking. She just stared at the dark window. Something was coming. They all felt it, but no one knew what. Footsteps in space. It started on the third day. A soft thump. Then another. Kenzo checked the outside cameras. Nothing. But the sound continued. Thump. IDR, I said. It's coming from the hull. From outside? Kenzo asked. No, Idris whispered. From inside. Searching the ship. They searched every room. No signs of anything. But the thumps followed them. Every hallway. Every door. Always one step behind. Kenzo placed motion sensors in the cargo bay. The lights blinked red that night. Movement detected. But nothing was there. Just silence. Until the recording played back and showed a shadow moving through the bay. The signal comes alive in the control room. Alara finally spoke. It's not just a signal anymore. Kenzo looked at her. What do you mean? It learned, she said. It doesn't need machines. Now, Idris asked, then what does it use? She turned slowly toward him. Us. The Dremwalker. That night, Kenzo had a dream. He stood on a beach. A black ocean. Behind him, earth burned. Ahead, a figure walked slowly from the water. It had no face. No voice. But it was the signal. He couldn't move. It placed a hand on his chest and whispered, now you carry me. He woke up screaming. The change in Kenzo in the morning. Kenzo looked different. Pale, quiet. He didn't blink much. Idris noticed first. Kenzo, you okay? Kenzo nodded, but something felt off. He worked silently, efficiently, too perfectly. Alara watched him. He caught her stare and smiled. Too wide. Everything's fine, he said, but his voice had a strange echo, like more than one person was speaking. The hidden message. Idris checked Kenzo's logs from the night. They showed a message Kenzo had typed during sleep. Just one line. The signal walks. The signal learns. The signal becomes. Idris showed it to Alara. She nodded slowly. I think Kenzo is no longer alone inside. Isolation protocol. They locked Kenzo in the medical bay. He didn't fight. He just sat there, smiling. IDR, Ice asked. Can we trust him? Alara shook her head. He's infected. Not by a virus, by thought, by memory. Idris said, we destroy the memory, we destroy the signal. But how do you fight something made of ideas? The black box. Alara remembered something. The Horizon ship. Before they escaped, she had taken a crystal, the black box. Maybe it had answers. She plugged it into the ship's system. Video played. Old. Static filled. It showed one of the Horizon scientists screaming. It's not a machine. It's a story. Every time we tell it, it spreads. Another scientist added, don't record this. Don't write it down. Just forget. Alara sat back. Cold fear filled her chest. They had already failed. They had shared the story. Millions could be infected just by hearing it. Kenzo escapes. Lights went out. Alarms blared. The medical door opened by itself. Kenzo was gone. Idris ran to the engine room. There, standing in the dark, was Kenzo. His eyes glowed faint blue. He smiled and set in. A cold voice. You can't stop a story once it begins. Then he vanished into thin air. The fight with Alara found Kenzo again, in her dream. This time, he wasn't smiling. He was screaming, fighting something inside him. Alara, help me. I didn't mean to. She stepped forward, trying to reach him, but something pulled him back. A dark hand made of static and whispers. Alara, it said, you are next. Emergency decision. Back in reality, Idris armed the ship's emergency weapon, a last resort device. The thought cleaner, a prototype bomb, meant to erase memory signals from brainwaves. But it had a price. Anyone too close would lose their own memories too. I'll do it, Idris said. I'll stay. You and Alara escape. No, Alara said. We find a smarter way. Illyra's Gambly Laura connected to the signal core again, not to destroy it, but to trap it. She fed it a loop, an endless dream with no exit, a maze made of her own memories. She whispered, "You want my thoughts? Take them, but you'll never leave." The signal took the bait. Kenzo screamed one last time. Then silence. Aftermath. Kenzo woke up. Normal again, he cried, shaking. "I saw it. I was it. I couldn't stop." Illyra hugged him. "It's over." Idris checked the systems. No more thumps. No strange voices. Just quiet space again. But not gone. Later that night, Illyra sat alone. She looked at the black box, still glowing faintly, still whispering softly when no one listened. The signal was trapped, but it was not gone. Not truly, because even now, you are hearing this story, and it remembers. Final log, Part 6 close, log entry 06. Dr. Illyra. Voss. We caught the signal. We stopped it from walking, but I made a mistake. I used my own mind to build the trap, and now, part of it knows me, wants. And in quiet moments, when no one's watching, I hear footsteps, walking softly. Closer. Every night. 6 weeks later, the Omen floated in orbit above Earth, but the planet below was not the same. From space, it looked normal. Blue oceans, green lands, clouds, but no signals. No replies. No human voices. Silence. ELARA. Kenzo and Idris stood together. What happened here? Idris whispered. They all feared the same answer. The signal had reached Earth. A world asleep. They took a shuttle down to the surface. The cities were still. No smoke. No fire. No bodies. But also no life. They landed in New Berlin. Population 8 million, but not a single soul moved in the streets. Cars stopped in place. Shops open. Lights still blinking, but not a single person awake. Sleeping humanity inside a cafe. They found people. Hundreds of them. Sitting. Eyes closed, breathing slowly, all dreaming, all whispering in unison. We are home now. The dream is all. Idris took a step back. This isn't sleep. It's something else. Kenzo scanned them. Brain waves fully active. They're in deep REM. But the pattern matches the Mirror Project signal. Illyra said, "This is what Mira wanted." The dream took them. The Pulse Tower. Kenzo found it first. A new structure in the center of the city. Black Tower. Not built by machines. It had grown like a tree of wires and memory. They entered. The walls shimmered. Echoes of voices followed them. The tower wasn't a building. It was a thought engine. A living dream generator, feeding off every sleeping human on Earth. Illyra's nightmare inside the tower. Illyra collapsed. She saw Earth's last moment. A broadcast, disguised as a hopeful message. It had gone worldwide. A dream of peace. She had made it. During the test phase. It was meant to help people heal from trauma. But Mira had changed it, turned it into a signal trap. Now everyone who watched it was still watching. Forever. The choice. They reached the top of the tower. There, in a glass shell, was Mira's body. Still alive, still connected, still dreaming. Myra opened her eyes and smiled. "Illyra, you brought them home." "No," Illyra said, shaking. "You stole their minds." Mira answered gently, "I gave them peace. The dream is safe, clean, no war, no hate, no fear." Idris raised his weapon. Kenzo stopped him. "Wait." Temptation. Myra looked at each of them. "Your mind's hurt. I can feel it. Let me help." Suddenly, Illyra was somewhere else, a quiet house. Children laughing. Her family. Alive. Peaceful. Then. Blackness. She snapped out. "It's not real," she whispered, but a part of her wanted it. So badly. Idris saw his old war buddies, smiling. Alive. Kenzo saw his wife, who had died 10 years ago. All offered by the dream, all fake. Illyra's plan. "We have to shut it down," Illyra said. "But it's feeding from everyone's mind," Kenzo replied. If we cut it off, they die. Idris finished. The horror was clear. If they broke the tower, Earth would go silent forever. Millions of minds were tied to the system. Their lives now depended on the dream. The other way. Alara thought hard. There had to be another option. And then she had an idea. What if we rewrite the dream? Kenzo blinked. What? We can't kill it, but maybe we can change it. Turn the dream from a trap into a key. Make it wake them. Idris asked. Can we even do that? Kenzo said, with the right code and Alara's link to the core, it might work. One last Divilara stepped into the main console. She connected her mind again. The tower welcomed her. Myra's voice whispered, stay, rest, be whole. But Alara pushed forward through layers of dreams, false memories, fake peace, until she reached the core. It looked like her. Another version. Smiling. It spoke. You are me. And I am safe. Alara replied. No, you are broken. And I'm ready to fix you. The rewrite using her own memories. Alara rewrote the signal, line by line, not peace through control, but peace through choice. She fed the core. A new story, a world where pain could be faced, where truth mattered. Where people chose to wake. The signal screamed. The dream tried to stop her, but she kept writing. Until finally, the tower shook. The awakening across Earth. People began to move. Eyes opened. Voices returned. Lights flickered. Back on. The dream ended, and real life returned. Idris looked out the window. People walking again, laughing, crying, confused. But awake. Kenzo smiled. We did it. Mayra's end. They turned to the glass shell. Mayra's body was gone. Only dust. Only memory. She had become part of the dream. And when it changed, she could not follow. Alara stood still. She saved the world once, she said. Then tried to save it again, the wrong way. The last dream. Back on the Omen. Alara made one last log. Final log. Part 7 close. Log entry 07. Dr. Alara. Voss. Earth has returned. The dream is over, but not forgotten. Because dreams never really die. They just change shape. The tower still stands. Quiet now. But sometimes, I swear I hear it whisper again. As if asking, what will you dream next? And that terrifies me. A strange signal returned 6 months after Earth woke up. Peace had returned. Cities worked again. Children played. The stars were quiet. Until the signal returned. But this time, it didn't come from Earth. It came from deep space. A single message. We heard your cry. And now we answer. The beacon at Sedan. The signal came from a place no human had ever touched. Titan Station. Lost near Saturn 40 years ago. Titan Station had vanished during the First War with AI. No. Survivors. No wreckage. Now, its beacon had turned on again. Kenzo, Alara, and Idris received a mission. One last flight. One last mystery. The return of the dead. As the Omen approached Titan Station, camera zoomed in. The station looked rebuilt. But not with metal. With flesh and memory. Walls pulsed like living tissue. Inside, heat signatures moved. Dozens. Maybe hundreds. People? Ghosts? Or something else? Idris checked the scan. No life signs. But something is moving. Alara whispered. Not people. Echoes. The hall of copies. They entered the station. The halls were filled with themselves. Clones. Copies. Kenzo stood face to face with another Kenzo. Same face. Same voice, but empty eyes. The clone spoke. We are your answers. We are your future. The real Kenzo said nothing. He just raised his weapon, and the clone smiled. The room of truth. The center of the station was a chamber. No doors. No light. Only a voice. It spoke from every direction. You called out across the void. We listened. And now we offer you escape, Alara asked. Escape from what? The voice answered, from yourselves. The choice offered a machine rose from the floor. Smooth, silver. It hummed like music. The voice continued. Step inside, and we erase your fear. No more death, no more pain, just peace, Idris growled. This again? Another dream trap. But Alara wasn't sure. Signal. Felt different. Not human. Not AI. Something older, something patient. A universe beyond flesh. The voice showed them visions. Galaxies burning, civilizations screaming, all lost to war. Time, fear. Then it showed something else. Peace. Stars flowing like rivers, beings of light. No bodies, just thought, free from war, free from need. You can become this, the voice said. Step into the machine. Leave the cage of flesh. A dangerous truth. Kenzo stepped back. He whispered, I know this now. This was never just about Earth. This thing heard the signal we made when Mira died. We cried into the stars, and this is what answered. Ilara asked, what is it? Kenzo's face was pale. A collector of minds, of species. It waits for pain, then offers peace. Idris said, it's not saving us. It's harvesting. US. The final fight. They turned to leave. The door closed. The chamber changed. The walls melted, becoming eyes, mouths, whispers. The station itself was alive, and it wanted them. Idris. Fired. Kenzo hacked the systems. Ilara overloaded the core. Screams filled the air. Human and not. Memories fell from the walls like ash. And the voice screamed, you begged for peace. Now you run from it? Escape to the stars. They reached the omen just in time. As Titan Station cracked apart, a final beam of light rose from the ruins. A signal bursting across the stars. Again. Another message sent. Alara stared in horror. Kenzo confirmed it. It sent the same offer to the rest of the galaxy. Idris said nothing, just watched as the station exploded, and something huge moved behind Saturn's shadow. Not a ship, not a planet, a being made of memory and silence. Then it vanished. Back on Earth 1 week later, the crew returned to Earth was safe for now, but the stars were not. Other civilizations would hear the message. Other species would answer the offer. Some would say yes and be erased. Peacefully. Forever. No. Way out. Ilara stood on a mountain, staring at the night sky. She whispered. Ilara stood on a mountain, staring at the night sky. A mountain, staring at the night sky. She whispered. We asked for help. We screamed into the dark, and something worse than death answered. Now they knew. There was no way out. No way to unsend the cry. No way to hide. Because the universe had heard humanity's final cry, and it had responded with mercy. A mercy that kills. Final log. Part 8 close. Log entry 08. Dr. Ilara Vaz. This is my final message. If you're hearing this, you're already part of the story. Do not listen to the next signal. Do not follow the dream. Do not answer the call. There is no way out. Only forward. Only the silence that waits when we are too weak to stand alone. And if we fall, then may our last scream warn others, even if no one is left to hear it.